I never realized how low I ranked in my own family until my mom spelled it out over Sunday dinner. Calm as day, no drama, your sister's needs come first, always. You're built different, you land on your feet no matter what. Dad just nodded like she'd recited the weather. My sister Chloe lifted her glass with a tiny smirk. I didn't tear up. I didn't push back. I simply said, got it. Crystal clear. But inside, something cracked wide open. Not heartbreak but blind loyalty. The kind that dies quiet. Before I drop what I did next, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment where you're tuning in from right now. Ever felt like the permanent backup plan in your own bloodline? Hey, I'm Ava, and for 32 years I absorbed my spot without a single family meeting. No chart on the wall, just vibes, subtle currents that pulled every ounce of care toward one direction and left scraps for me. We lived in a tidy split level outside Portland, manicured yard, beige siding, smiling pics in the entryway. Perfect from the curb. But linger inside and you'd sense it, energy orbiting my sister like she was the sun. Talks swerved to her day, vacations bent around her calendar, crises mobilized the troops for her. Me? I got labeled resilient early, like it was praise instead of a free pass for everyone else. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't neglected in the obvious ways. Hugs happened, love yous got said. But it was conditional love, low maintenance edition. Ava's fine on her own. She's so capable. Translation, don't need much, so don't ask. Birthdays? Chloe's cake was custom from that fancy downtown bakery, mine grabbed last minute from Safeway. Family trips to the coast? My bag stayed home, better save for your books, honey. Grad night? I snapped the photos, held the purses, cheered from the sidelines. College drop-off? A wave from the porch and a text when you land. No tears, no caravan. I hustled 2 jobs, scholarships, Roman mastery, because no safety net waited. And every win just proved their point. See? She doesn't need us like Chloe does. Fast forward to Seattle, new job, fresh start, the pattern tagged along. Calls were short, how's the apartment? Good. Anyway, Chloe's going through it right now. I became pro at listening, advising, swallowing my own updates. That dinner where Mom voiced the ranking? I already knew. The shock was their casual comfort saying it, like I'd signed off years ago. And maybe silently, I had. But after those words hung in the air, something irreversible clicked. What boundary would I finally draw? The weeks after that dinner felt normal on the surface. Texts pinged, group chats buzzed, but underneath, I was rewiring everything. No blow-ups, no ghosting yet. Just a slow, deliberate pause. Requests rolled in like always. Mom asking if I could Venmo for Chloe's emergency dental again. Chloe forwarding a GoFundMe for her kids' travel sports with a, if you can swing anything red heart. Dad mentioning car repairs we're juggling. Old me would have jumped. Fixed it quiet, no fuss. This time? I let notifications sit. Drank my coffee slow. Went to yoga. The sky didn't fall. No meltdown texts, no guilt bombs at first. Then the follow-ups trickled, you good? Haven't heard from you. I replied short, busy week. And left it. That silence was loud in my head. I started auditing my life like a spreadsheet. How many small transfers over the years? How many weekends kept open just in case? How much emotional bandwidth reserved for their fires? The totals hit hard. I'd built stability by never leaning, because no one offered a hand. So I locked it down. New accounts, passwords changed, autopays cancelled on their streaming logins I'd covered forever. When Chloe asked directly for rent help, I typed, can't this time. No esa, no sorry. The backlash ignited fast. Mom rang, voice wobbly, everything okay, sweetie? You seem off. Translation, why aren't you fixing this? I stayed calm, just focused on work. Long pause. Well, Chloe's really stressed, kids' bills piling. I let the hint dangle. Didn't bite. That call ended polite but tense. I hung up feeling, free? Guilty? Both. But the guilt faded quicker than expected. Then came the summons, the urgent family meeting text. Mom's voice on the voicemail cracked. "We need you home this weekend." Big stuff. No details, classic sign, money pit ahead. I drove down I-5 with a knot in my gut, knowing exactly what waited. But this time, I wasn't walking in as the rescue squad. What crisis were they about to drop in my lap? Pulling into the driveway felt like stepping back in time. The same hydrangeas, same faded flag, but the vibe inside screamed trouble. Air thick, blinds half drawn. Living room table buried under mail, red-stamped envelopes, spreadsheets, foreclosure whispers. Chloe perched on the couch, arms tight, staring at carpet. Dad paced. Mom hovered with forced brightness. "No, how was the drive?" "Straight to it." Mom launched, bad investment in Chloe's side hustle boutique flip, inventory overbought, loans called early, credit tanking. "Temporary setback," she insisted, like a mantra. Dad added market talk, excuses stacking. Then the pivot, all eyes on me. Dad cleared throat. "You're in a solid spot, Ava. No dependents, good savings. You could bridge us till it turns." There it was. The ask, wrapped in logic. Chloe finally looked up, fear flashing, then relief, like cavalry arrived. I didn't flinch. "How much total whole are we talking?" Chloe named it. 6 figures, rounded scary. I nodded slow. "And the plan if I say no?" Dead silence. Mom looked wounded. Dad confused. Chloe panicked. Helping wasn't optional in their world, it was my role. "I need time to review everything," I said. They nodded eager, misreading it as calculating my contribution. That night in my old room, posters still up, I stared at glow-in-dark stars and decided, no more free falls for them. Next morning in Seattle, booked a financial advisor and therapist. If I engaged, it would be armored. 2 weeks later, I returned armed, not with cash, but conditions. What terms would shatter their expectations? The second visit, tension crackled. Papers neater now, desperate organization. Chloe's husband lurked awkwardly. No small talk, no snacks. Mom dove in repeating the spiral. Then the ask, hopeful eyes. "How much exactly?" I pressed. Chloe rattled the number again. "Repayment timeline?" Dad shrugged. "Once the shop sells." I slid my folder across. "This is my offer." Dad flipped it, face hardening. "A loan? With interest?" "Structured help," I corrected. "Assets liquidated first, second car, extras. Budget submitted monthly. No new debt. Mandatory family counseling, paid from proceeds. Signed contract. My finances stay off limits forever." Mom gasped. "You don't trust us?" "Trust actions," I said. "Patterns say I absorb risk so you don't change." Chloe teared up. "This feels punitive. We're drowning." "If I bail unrestricted, I drown long-term," I replied. "I've planned solo because history showed no net for me." Dad pushed papers back, cold. "Like a stranger." "Banks have terms," I said. "Treat me like one for money, family for support, earned both ways." Silence stretched. Mom reached, hesitated. "We never meant you feel lesser." "But you did. And said it plain." "Nothing else," Chloe whispered. "Without this, we lose the house. Without boundaries, I lose what I've built alone." I stood. 24 hours. Sign or figure another path. Mom choked. "If no, you done with us?" "Not abandoning," I said at the door. "Prioritizing me, finally." Would they sign, or force the real break? Next day, I walked in to signed papers, shaky pens, averted eyes. No groveling, no big sorry. Just defeat and reluctant relief. Something broke permanently, but necessity won. Changes rolled slow but real. Garage sale weekends, streaming cuts, Chloe job hunting retail. Therapy kicked off, Zoom at first, painfully stiff. Dad measured words. Mom over-apologized.
Slog defended till cornered.
I attended sessions too, from Seattle. Not to fix, but hold space. Therapist called it rebalancing load. I called it late justice. Panic eased as reality bit. No magic bailout meant actual fixes. Chloe learned budgeting apps. Parents downsized dreams. Calls shifted. Mom asking about my promotion, not problems. Chloe sharing kid pics without asks. My Seattle life breathed deeper. No bracing for buzzes. Weekends mine. Savings grew untouched. One night, wine on balcony, it hit. I wasn't waiting for scraps anymore. I'd claimed center in my own story. But healing wasn't linear. A holiday invite loomed. Would old habits creep back, or hold the new line? Thanksgiving tested everything. Mom's text, come home? We miss you. No guilt trip progress. I drove down wary. Table smaller, literal and figurative. No extravagance, potluck style. Conversation careful, my job, my hiking trips spotlighted. Chloe asked genuine questions. Dad admitted pride in my independence, bittersweet. Awkward moments surfaced, therapy homework. Mom teared up, we leaned too hard because you made it easy. Chloe nodded, I took advantage. Working on it. No full absolution, but honesty. I shared my side without rage. Felt lighter. Post-dinner walk with Chloe, first real talk ever. I resented your freedom, she admitted. Didn't see the cost. Hugs tentative but warm. Back in Seattle, boundaries held. Requests rare, prefixed with, if you can / no pressure. I dated, traveled, said yes to me first. Therapy taught, strength isn't endless giving. A year later, Chloe's boutique stabilized, smaller, smarter. Parents in condo, content. Relationship redefined, equal, not ranked. But one email shook it, Dad's health scare. Would crisis pull me back to old savior role? Dad's diagnosis, early prostate, treatable, hit hard. Hospital waiting room flashbacks to childhood dynamics. Mom called panicked, can you come? I did, on my terms. Took leave, helped coordinate, but delegated. Chloe handled daily visits, I managed bills, from their funds. No solo caring. Therapy tools kicked in, we share load now. Recovery slow, gratitude real. Dad pulled me aside, proud doesn't cover it. Sorry we made you earn what should have been given. Tears, mine too. Forgiveness crept in, not forced. Post-crisis, Thiès strengthened sans sacrifice. Monthly dinners rotated homes. I hosted Christmas, my rules, my joy. Chloe paid first loan chunk early, feels good owning it. I thrived, promotion, new friends, therapy graduation. Realized, boundaries didn't shrink love, they purified it. If you've set limits with family and wondered if worth it, yes. Freedom tastes sweetest after chains. But as life settled, an unexpected letter arrived, from Chloe's kid. What innocent truth would it reveal? The letter was crayon art from my niece Lily, stick figures labeled Aunt Ava No. 1, holding hands with everyone equal size. Inside, thank you for teaching us fair. Chloe explained laughing, she overheard therapy talk, said you made family even. Heart full. Proof ripples reached next generation. Years on, we gathered for Lily's graduation. Me front row, not photographing from back. Cheers loudest for all. I keynote at a women's finance conference, from family ATM to self-made. Audience stories poured, many last children finding voice. Today, chosen family blends blood and friends. Love flows mutual, no ranking. If my journey resonates, comment, chosen below. Share your spot, from last to first. Remember, you don't earn worth by carrying others. Step out the line, build your center. Thanks for listening. Where you at right now? Drop your city and if you've chosen yourself yet. Looking back, that dinner statement was a gift, harsh truth unveiled. Without it, I'd still be subsidizing silence. Now I mentor young women, strong isn't doormat. Boundaries are love too, starting with self. Dad fully recovered, golfs with limits. Mom gardens, volunteers. Chloe runs profitable online shop, hustle earned. We vacation together sometimes, Costs split fair.
Laughter genuine, no undercurrents.
One sunset beach walk, Mom said, "You saved us, by nearly walking." I smiled, saved myself first. Rest followed. If waiting for family to choose you, stop. Choose you today. Freedom isn't lonely. It's spacious. What's your first boundary step? Comment it. I read every one. Till next story, stay chosen.